back to our channel. I am Shanae.
And I'm Lucretia.
And we are the Gospel Girls. And we are back for another episode of God's Word.
Yes.
And I believe we are starting a new series of the Woman of God.
Yes.
Or Women of the Bible.
Women
of the Bible.
And this is for like the kind of like the unsung heroes, right?
right.
Like those who really didn't get a really big spotlight, but those who had a great impact in the Bible. So we're talking about Rahab. And everybody know about Rahab, right? Everybody did, like she is kind of like one of the big names.
She is.
But we're coming out of Joshua, and do you want to give a little brief? Well, I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, I got some notes. Okay. So Rahab was a prostitute in the city of Jericho.
Yes,
and Joshua was sending over spies to look over the land before they were to take it over. And Rahab hid the spies.
Right.
And I think the way that she wasn't led by fear in that. Because when you do something, like, you got to think, like, if that didn't work out for her, if they would have found them in there, do you know what would have happened to her?
Right.
You know? So it's like, the fact that she wasn't led by that fear, like, that wasn't her mindset. Her mindset was on faith of like, oh, but wait a minute. How can I use this situation for my good?
Right.
You know,
the good of those around me.
Exactly. She was resourceful.
Yes.
Like, she was like, okay, I'm about to make this situation
work in my favor. Because it came to me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So she could have easily caused the fear of the people that she lived around to cause her to, turn into spies.
Exactly.
But instead, she used the opportunity to be like, you know what? How can I? Like, they already heard the stories, right? They already knew. She's put it like, look, we heard about the things your God is doing. So, find favor on me in my house. And I, first of all, like, just thinking about is that something you would have done?
I know. I honestly can say, I don't think that my brain would have thought that way. I'm just being honest. I don't think that I would have took an opportunity and allowed faith to drive that.
Yeah.
Like, I probably would have been on the safe side. Like, I wouldn't have snitched and be like, oh, here's the spies. Like, I wouldn't have did that. But I don't think I would have been like, I don't think I would have been able to hide them and then go to them with a dilemma like, well, since I'm doing this for you, I need this in return.
Yes, be like, all right, y'all be safe. Peace.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because either way, they were coming.
Because that was kind of like she negotiated in a sense.
Right.
Like, I'm going to do this for you. You do this for me. Right. I don't think I would have had the boldness to come like that. Yeah. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. True. I mean, if they would have knocked on my door, I would have been like, "Hey, y'all gotta be about."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it was
like, y'all need some water or something. I got you, but yeah.
I wouldn't even give them that. I would have been like, "The gate is over there. Like, you need to go. I don't want no parts. I want no problems. Yeah. I live here. Y'all don't have to live here. I lived here.
Exactly.
So it for her to go with that boldness, for that bravery. I mean, she was really brave.
Yeah.
And it makes me think, like, so she was a prostitute, right? So I know in today's age, prostitution is frowned upon.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm sure it was frowned upon here. And maybe her family shunned her.
Right.
Maybe her family turned their backs on her because she chose this
lifestyle.
This lifestyle.
Right.
But and we don't know. But she still thought about saving them.
Yeah. Because she said, not only saving me, but my whole family need to be saved as well.
Family.
Yeah.
And who's to say they would have been like, listen to her.
Right.
Would have been like, you need to go back over to your house because we don't want no parts of you.
Yeah.
But she was so brave, bold, and daring to say, like, I don't care what anybody's, I'm going to do this. I'm going to save me and my family. And then, when she gave her, she negotiated.
Right.
And the spies gave her that scarlet ribbon.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
She immediately tied it to her window.
To her window.
Now, she could have put it in her pocket. She could have been like, all right, when I hear them coming, that's when I'm going to do it. She immediately.
ASAP.
She took action immediately.
Yeah. What's the delay? You know what I mean? What are we delaying for?
Because they coming.
You told me what to do. So, yeah.
It's just the fact. I just reading about Rahab makes me, like, it truly shows that you have to not only speak up, but take action.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know, like, just for the everyday believer, right? For us as believers, disciples, it is like I feel like the time that you delay, it's like, like that delay, like you don't know when he coming back though.
Exactly. We don't really have that. Yeah, so in a sense, that's being boastful, because it's like you think that you got this time, but you really don't. So you delaying it, thinking that you got until next week, but in reality, what if you only got today? Girl,
because she told him, okay, go up in the mountains for 3 days, but she didn't know when they was coming.
Exactly.
She didn't know. They could have came on that after that third day, that fourth day, a week. She didn't know. She's like, let me go ahead and take action right now because I don't know.
Exactly.
When they come.
Exactly.
So it's like, what you waiting for?
Yep.
What you waiting for?
Yep. Are you ready? We got to be ready at all point. We always been talking about that.
So you don't have to get ready. And girl, when I say staying ready, you can get exhausted.
I was just about to say it's exhausting.
You can get exhausted.
It is very exhausting because it's like, can I take this vest off now? Can I take all this gear off now? But it's like you can't though. No, you cannot.
But it's like taking off the armor of God. Like, would that make sense though?
And that's
if
the part.
Always say stay ready. Say
why
armored.
you taking it off?
What you taking it off for? Because you don't know.
As soon as you take it off,
the enemy gonna be like fiery dart. Yeah,
because you think you in the clear. No.
Like, that's triple far away now. I can woo.
Right.
And as soon as you do, something coming, or arrow coming straight for your back, and it's like it's not worth it.
Yeah. Like, I've been on a streak. I've been reading my Bible for 2 weeks straight. I'm gonna take a break. As soon as you take a break, here go the enemy. Slide, and somebody gonna text your phone, get you all off.
Girl, ain't that the truth?
You know what I mean? It just be the loser.
Your car gonna get broke down. Tax people calling, sending letters. All this stuff happening. It's like, Lord, and then it's gonna make you get back in your word. It's like, okay, well,
you should have never stayed. Right. And you don't take no days off.
Even when you do still stay in your word, that stuff still come, right? Yeah. But you got peace because it's like, but Lord, like, you brought me this far. Let me get my word, see what he say about this.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't really worry about much.
Yeah.
Because I've given it to God. Like, he already gonna tell me what to do, where to go, what to say. So these attacks, honestly, sometimes it's not an attack.
That part.
It's a test. Like, God test your heart. Now, he ain't gonna tempt you.
That part.
To sin. But a lot of times, God wants to test your heart. Like, I want to see where they heart at.
Where you at? You
don't think this was a test for Rahab? Like, I'm gonna see where her heart at. Because they could have went anywhere else. You don't think other people would feared all the people? She said all the hearts were melting in other people. You don't think somebody else would have been like, cool, like she took them in. God was testing her heart. Like, I can use a prostitute.
Come on.
To bring the my people into their promised land.
Because it ain't about the outer, it's about the inner. Stop trying to judge people from the outer. It's the inner.
It's the inner.
You judging her by her job or whatever she do and the way she dressed and the way she whatever.
Right.
But God is like, I know her though. You know what I mean? I know her. I know her from the inside.
Friend, they could have easily been like, oh no, that's a prostitute.
Exactly. They could have judged her. But that's how you know you dealing with godly people. When godly people, you see godly people interacting with all type of people, because guess what? The outside don't matter.
Right. It's the heart.
You like, see a drug dealer, but I see a man of God.
Right.
You know? So it's like, you can't judge people from the outside.
You can't.
You cannot.
You miss out on being blessed and blessing others when you do that.
Yeah,
because
you
they
judging.
were blessed. Anybody, they could have got turned in if they would have went somewhere else.
Yeah.
They would have been like, hey, they in the back shed.
Yeah.
You know?
And like you said, the spies could have been like, oh, no, she a prostitute. We ain't dealing with that.
We can't be associated with that.
Girl!
To be caught in a prostitute's house. And what about the other Israelites
and they
finding out?
You know, what they gonna think about us when we... You know, so it's like...
What was y'all doing in the prostitute's house when y'all was scoping the place?
Right. That's why you got to be led by the Spirit.
I am confident that the Spirit led them.
For sure.
To her house.
And gave them peace when she opened the door. Gave them peace when they seen her.
Gave her peace. Because she would have been like, listen. Oh, no. You were the Israelites? Get out of here. The Israelites are here. Like, for real. For real. God was using her. Gave her discernment gave them both discernment. All of them discernment.
On both, yeah. And that's how you know, like, God, like when you dealing with a child of Christ, it's something about the heart. They knew something that was in, they knew it. They seen past her, who she was, and they saw her heart. They saw what type of person she truly was. Like, we can trust her.
We can trust her.
We can trust her.
And just go up to the roof. Don't say nothing. Just lay down. Just be quiet.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Girl.
Ooh-wee.
She, for real, like, she's one of the unsung heroes of the Bible because if they would have found, I mean, not to say that Jericho would not have fallen.
Right.
But who knows how long it would have took
if she wasn't obedient in that moment. Right. You never know who on the other side of your obedience. I be saying that.
I know. And it's like, well, Lord, that sounds ridiculous.
But no, it's real, though.
Like, Lord, you want me to do what?
Yeah, because it'd be like the small things. Like, one little small thing in a story that they could have did wrong could have altered the whole entire ending of the story. You know what I mean? Like, one little small decision. She shut that door right in their face. Then what? Where would we be at, Joshua?
Right.
Where will we be at?
And she trusted them because they gave her their word. Mm-hmm. And Joshua he held up that word.
Right.
And Joshua, he's such a man of God. When I say, if anybody was a man of God, it was Joshua. Yeah, he wasn't playing no games.
For sure.
He wasn't playing no games. He was conquering everything, everybody. Mm-hmm. The Lord was with him. But yeah, like like Rahab, she had faith enough to help them.
Her faith was so big.
She had faith enough to tie that ribbon.
And she had faith to know that they were going to save her.
Right? Yes.
Like, not only did she do the thing, but I feel like she just had faith enough to know we good.
And she was positioned. Her house was on a part of the wall for them to get out. Right. So you don't think God was orchestrated? Right. Like, this is where you're going to live at. This is where you're going to live at. This is where I'm going to place you. Because there's going to be spies that come. Like, God already knew all this stuff, right? So it's like the position she was in. Like, God put her in such a position that her place that she lived was in such a way that they could get out easily without being spotted.
And he used a prostitute to save her family. Like let's say that her family was a family that was built with, I mean, these people could have had all type of good jobs or good careers or whatever, but he used the prostitute to save them. He could have used anybody, you know what I mean? But he used the lowest one, the one that people, like you said, they probably was talking about her behind her back.
Yeah. Wrote her off. Be like, oh no, you're a disgrace to the family. Exactly. Because back then, it's like a woman who did that, she was defiled.
Exactly.
So it was like, she was like, looked at.
So we already knew how her family looked at her, you know? But the fact that God used that to save her family, like, that's how you know God uses stuff like that so he can get the glory.
Yeah. First of all, he can do what he wants. Use who he want, what he want, when he want.
That part.
You know, but it's a true testament.
It is.
To
you can't say it wasn't God.
How faithful he is, and how he can use someone that you would have never thought he would use.
Exactly.
A prostitute, Lord. I use who I want for my glory.
Yeah, and you stop judging people.
Yeah. Who are you to, like, I have made it clean. Who are you to say it's unclean?
You're being a Pharisee. But we ain't gonna go there.
Yeah. So yes, like I just know that this woman did something that was probably like, it could have been looked at as her betraying her people.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, God used her to save herself and her family.
Right.
That was meant to happen.
Right.
She was meant, those men were meant to come to her.
Yeah.
She was meant to be in that position.
And we don't know, because this is it for Rahab. We don't know how her life changed after this moment. We don't know. Right. What she done did. She probably just...
But like, I'm giving that life up.
Okay.
Because it said she lived with the Israelites from then on.
Mm-hmm. She fully was in. From that moment, she probably was like, oh yeah,
I believe so. It's like,
she's like, oh yeah, I'm good.
Right.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
I trust you, Lord.
Yeah. I mean, Rahab, she's one of my favorite women of the Bible.
Yes. I'm glad we got to chime in on her, because that fear and her faith overrode that fear. It's like, how much was her faith, But she just, remarkable woman for sure. Yes. Remarkable woman. This story was really good.
Yes. She deserves a bow. She deserves respect.
Yeah, for sure.
And, knowing that God can use anyone.
Absolutely.
At any time.
Absolutely.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week as we talked about Rahab and Joshua 2. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe.
Yes. Yeah. We love y'all. Jesus loves y'all more, and we will see y'all next week.
Bye.